Hi, you're right, guys. So basically, we were going to film you this beautiful, picturesque hike through Lake District in the winter time, do some winter camping, which we're both very excited for because we hadn't been winter camping before, and we have spent so much money on prepping everything and buying more mats and warmer sleeping bags and this and that and the other thing. Unfortunately, due to lockdown, that hasn't happened.
So what we are going to show you is a video showing what we usually bring on our hikes for an average week in the mountains.
Hope you enjoy.
So the first thing we're going to go through is the bags that we bring when we go hiking. My brother uses the Ether 70 and I use the Zenith 75. The Zenith 75 has an internal frame so nothing's literally pushing against our back. It also has an external slot for my bladder, so it's literally easy enough for me to get in and out while I'm on a hike.
On the other side, my bladder pouch is actually inside my bag, so it's a lot more difficult. I have to go rummaging around and continually empty my bag out in the middle of a hike. It's a little bit annoying, but the bladder pouch are good, and they're both great bags at the end of the day. Like my bag also has an internal pouch, has beautiful foamed hip belts, and I won't complain. The only difference I'd make is literally where the bladder pouch is. If I could change, I'd put it in the same place as where the Zenith is.
This has beautiful cushion hip belts, but mine actually has very comfortable memory foam hip belts. They after a couple hikes, they literally wear straight into your waist and they're very comfortable.
Yeah, and that brings us on to the tents. So for the tents, we have the Cullen 300 and the Vengo Nevis 200. I forgot the name there for a second. Obviously, we pick tents depending on when we're going and who we're going with. Obviously, if we're going together, we'll take the Cullen 300, and if I'm going on my own, I'll take the Nevis, or if either of us are going on our own, we'll take the Nevis. We also got our pegs, which is just the bog standard tent peg, comes with every tent you'll ever buy pretty much. Good aluminium, nice and light. And then we have these bad boys, the snow pegs we bought for our winter hike that we still haven't used yet. And then we have our top. Beautiful piece of kit. This is done a lot for us. Like,
It is resilient as anything, can be used however you want, can be used under your tent as a ground sheet, over a tent to keep rain or so you don't keep it pattering on. You can use it as a wind barrier or
even in the forest, you could use it as a canopy, as a porch sort of thing. There's so many different uses, and it has saved our asses so many different times before. After that, we have our sleeping bags, which we actually ended up with the whole Vango the whole Vango Cobra range over the Christmas. Sorry about that. A long story. I'm not exactly going to go into it, but these are very good sleeping bags, and will keep you warm.
and can't wait to give them a good test run.
No, we cannot. We also have our bivvies, just in case it gets a little bit colder again. They're waterproof and a bit more insulation. We just put our sleeping bags inside of them, and they just add an extra bit. Then have our pillows. Obviously, I just use a normal pillow, that bog standard pillow that I love, and I will never, probably won't give up. It's from Mountain Warehouse, and if you guys need a pillow to go hiking, I would recommend this if it's your first time.
I have the same pillow. I've been using it for a very long time, but recently I have upgraded to the Yoku of Sweden blow up pillow, which I haven't get a chance to try yet. I would love to. It's very soft, very cushiony. It literally feels like fleece material against you, but literally 2 puffs and the pillow is fully blown and it feels very comfortable. So literally just like that, very beautiful, very nice big valve, very secure. Pull it out, it's just got, if you want to make it a bit softer, you just, and that's perfect. Can't wait to give it a try. Seems very soft, very warm, and yeah, look forward to it.
We also have our mats here. These are specifically for winter, to be honest. During summer, we personally feel you don't really need them. I mean, if it's something to do with your back, or you don't like lumps in the ground or something like that, fair enough. Bring a mat in summer as well. But personally, I only really use them for winter. I like sleeping on the ground in summer. It's a lot more nicer. I don't know. I like enjoying the outside, so that's why I prefer being on the cold, hard ground. So now I'll show you some of the bulk of the equipment. We're going to go through some of the little bits and pieces we bring with us too. First of all, I want to show you my water bladder. It's always important to stay well hydrated on a hike. So we use the 3 litre Osprey bladder. It's very good, quite durable, takes a bit of rough and tumble, and it will still stay fine. I really would recommend this if you're looking for a bladder. It's not just good for hiking, you can use it for any sports like running, cycling, or if you need a bladder for anything, it's a very good all-round bladder. We also use chlorine tablets, or bring chlorine tablets with us. We haven't actually used them because we don't really find the water in England is that bad, but we always have them with us just in case. We also bring a Sawyer to filter our water, and the Sawyer bags. So basically what we do with these, we just fill the bags up with water, put the Sawyer on top, and then we squeeze, and then the water gets squeezed through.
Great bit of equipment. Never leave home without it. It gets rid of all microbacteria from the pond and keeps your water nice and safe.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, we've used, how long have we used this for now?
I think we've been using it for about 3 years now.
3 years, yeah. I mean, one of those other pieces of equipment that hasn't done us any wrong, and I'm pretty sure every hiker uses Sawyer, so it's one of those equipments that all the hikers have. So
Either that or the live straw, but back
Yeah.
the Sawyer.
yeah, we back the Sawyer 100%. And obviously, we bring our hiking sticks with us. The first time we went hiking, we didn't actually bring hiking sticks with us, but then we found out going up and down the mountains with bags on your back can really kill your ankles.
Mainly down.
Mainly down, yeah. So we decided that we added hiking sticks onto our list just for extra ankle support. Then obviously you got the map, compass, and GPS. We usually only use a map and compass, but we were planning a winter hike, so we got a GPS.
As you can't see the trails as well.
Yeah, so we haven't used this unfortunately, but once again, it's something we're very excited to use when we do go hiking again. And obviously, you want to bring your light with you to have a bit of light in the tent. A battery pack just to make sure your power supplies stay well charged. A rain cover, very important piece of equipment that you don't want your bag and everything getting wet inside of it, because then you're going to be wet for as long as your hike lasts. You don't want to be found in a position where you're completely soaked. We also bring the shovel with us. This is probably a bit of a bulky piece of equipment.
I'm
Kind
sure
of
most
needed.
people won't bring a shovel with them either, but we found it useful at times.
Yeah, and it also has a nice little knife in here. So it also means we don't need to bring the multi-tool with us, which is always good because there's less stuff we need to carry. A knife is always good when you're hiking or you're doing any wild stuff, just in case for anything really. I mean, for any reason.
Maybe cutting up a fish or just slicing some wood into
Yeah,
bits,
I mean,
anything really.
so it's always a good piece of equipment to have on you just in case of anything really. Obviously the shovel. And then we have our first aid kit, our antiseptic wipes, and our insect repellent, which we wouldn't be taking on a winter hike obviously, but we just thought we'd throw that in there. It's always important to be able to make a fire when you go hiking. So we always bring our fire starter flint, which is always good to make a spark. We always bring our windproof matches, which have extra
Phosphorus sulfate.
There's an extra phosphorus sulfate on them, so once you spark them up, whether it's wind, rain, or whatever weather you go in, they're not going out until they burn right down to the wood. Always a good piece of equipment to have on you. We also, of course, always bring our lighter. Can never go wrong with one of them. Next thing I want to show you is a cooking equipment. So we stash all of our cooking equipment in our cooking pots. So number one, it doesn't rustle around. And number two, we always know where it is. In here we have our gas, our little pocket rocket, which is our dispenser. We just sort of open it up like this. So we just twist it on there like that. It'll go on. There we go. You turn this little lever here to allow the gas out and then light it with a lighter. I'm not going to do it now inside the house because that's just not very smart. And then our saucepan, we also have our little handle so we can pick the pot on and off the fire when it's a bit hot for us to pick up with our hands. It's also important to think about the type of food we're going to bring with us. We're going to want to bring breakfasts, snacks and dinners for each day we're hiking. Plus I tend to bring in an extra day just in case. The snacks I tend to bring would be peanut butter and digestive biscuits, chocolates, and nuts. For breakfasts and dinners, you can go online and get hiking and expedition foods. You can get wet or dried, and they're just boil in the bag types of foods. You could also decide to cook yourself something at home, bring it up to the mountains and warm it up there, or you could think of something simple to cook up in the mountains and enjoy it fresh. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the clothes we bring with us. I mean, obviously you got to bring your boxers and your socks and all that stuff and your basic stuff. I do like to personally bring extra warm socks for the tent at night and a nice warm jumper for when I'm at the tent at night. You also got to really think about when you're hiking and stuff like that. You don't want to be sweating, so you tend to sweat when you're walking and stuff like that. So you don't tend to wear that many layers when you're hiking. No matter, even when it does get cold, it's not that bad.
No, you're generally using your own body heat. They're used holding the weight and trekking that keeps you warm as you go. Especially when you have a waterproof layer on top of you. If it's raining, that kind of keeps that heat in. But as soon as you get to the tent or try to set it up or try and get inside the tent when you're not hiking, you generally cool down pretty fast. So that's when it's best to get out the thermal layers, an extra pair of fresh socks because usually you're sweating in the ones you had before, etc. But when it's outside hiking, I usually like to have my hat with me as well as my cap, a double layer. If it's usually to keep the sun at my eyes. Usually if it's raining, it also stops the rain in my face.
Yeah, I also like to bring these gloves with me as well. They're really good gloves. I got them from, where did I get them? Decathlon. They're actually really good mountain hiking gloves. They're water resistant, wind resistant. You know, you've got the dexterity there when you need it, and then when it's too cold, you can just pick the mitten up and put it over your fingers, and it keeps you nice and warm. Because when you're up in the mountains, the worst thing that can usually hit you is the wind chill, because when the gales pick up, you know, you got the wind hitting on your face and on your hands, and it really does suck the moisture out of your face and the life out of you. So I also bring a balaclava to completely cover my face, just a bit of extra wind protection, a bit of extra rain protection. So the next item on the agenda is our footwear. This is where we have a bit of a difference of opinion. I prefer shoes. I like the breathability around my ankles. I like the maneuverability around my ankles, especially when I'm climbing up and down mountains. You know, I get to, when the rocks are a bit dodgy, I get a second to sort of orientate myself and have a bit more maneuverability than
boots. I don't know, I prefer them. They're a lot more waterproof. They'll keep the water up to a bit more of an ankle height. They're a lot more rigid, as he was talking about. I got a lot more ankle support. So if I'm coming down off my ankle, if my foot wants to slip, I feel that my ankles are safe in these big boots, as well as the grip on the bottom. I feel that they are second to none, but I feel that the waterproof level has saved us on quite a few times at the very least.
Yeah, fair enough. My shoes do have a tendency to take on water when it's a little bit flooded, whereas his can take on a bit more.
A good bit more,
Yeah. And guys, that concludes the end of our video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it informative. I hope you guys enjoy your hikes in the future. And please remember to like and subscribe.
Thank you very much.